What if I told you a body could survive for thousands of years? Not alive, but still here, frozen in time. Ancient people saw something terrifying, a dead body that didn't disappear. No decay, no return to dust, just silence. And that discovery changed everything, because it led to one of the most mysterious inventions in history, the mummy. Long before modern cities existed, the ancient Egyptians lived along the Nile River. Life was difficult. People worked, farmed, and hoped the river would bring enough water every year. But one thing scared everyone: death. They believed that after death, the soul continued its journey. But there was a problem. The soul needed its body. If the body disappeared, the person could be lost forever. So the Egyptians searched for a way to preserve the dead. And eventually they created one of history's most famous inventions, the mummy. At first, Egyptians buried their dead directly in the hot desert sand. Something unexpected happened. The dry sand removed moisture from the bodies. Instead of decaying, some bodies stayed preserved naturally. When people returned to old graves, they found bodies still recognizable. This shocked them. They believed the gods had shown them a secret. If nature could preserve a body, maybe humans could do it too. And so they began experimenting. The process was long and difficult. First, workers carefully washed the body. Then they removed organs that would decay quickly. The organs were stored separately in special containers. After that, the body was covered in a natural salt called natron. The salt slowly dried the body over many weeks. When the body was completely dry, workers wrapped it in long strips of linen, layer after layer, again and again. Finally, charms and protective symbols were placed inside the wrappings. The mummy was ready. The body could now survive for centuries, maybe even thousands of years. To modern people, this may seem strange. Why spend so much effort preserving a dead body? For Egyptians, the answer was simple. They believed death was not the end. It was only the beginning of another life. The soul would travel through a dangerous journey. If everything went well, it could enter paradise. But it needed a body to return to. That is why preserving the body was so important. The mummy was not just a corpse. It was a future home for the soul. Once the mummy was finished, it was placed inside a coffin. Important people often had beautiful tombs filled with treasures: food, jewelry, tools, statues, even games. The Egyptians believed these items would be useful in the afterlife. Some tombs became enormous structures. The most famous examples were the giant pyramids, built to protect rulers for eternity. Centuries passed, then millennia. Entire kingdoms disappeared. Sand covered many tombs. People forgot where they were, but the mummies remained hidden underground, waiting. When archaeologists eventually discovered them, they were amazed. Some mummies still had hair, some still had skin. After thousands of years, they were still there. The ancient preservation method had worked. The first mummy was humanity's attempt to defeat time. It wasn't built with technology. It wasn't built with machines. It was built with belief, a belief that life continued after death. And thousands of years later, those ancient mummies are still telling their story, a story that refused to disappear. Narration end. Would you preserve your body if you believed you could live again? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more ancient human history stories.